Yeah. Yeah. No, you want to go. Yeah.
Yes, that's great.
I'm not sure you figure it out. Yes.
Yeah. Present. Present. Adrian, fine. Okay, thank you. I'll try.
If you guys want some coffee or tea or some muffins or porridge, come and help yourself. It's all here. Come on up. Get some have a seat, gentlemen. And got some coffee or tea, muffins, porridge. Come on, everyone, come and help yourselves. There's breakfast coming in.
So far. They do, yeah. They're a bit stiff.
Again, once again, the second time, call it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, it's a good deal.
I arrived at 2.
But yeah, I just took down the other one's unlisted, this is the only one on there, so.
Yeah, I ended up holding the door. So there were people saying, yeah.
Too small.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. No, Nancy's here. Nancy's
Yeah.
just much. So when she does it, right? Oh, you make the first word. Yeah, yeah. I think we'll start with the prayer and then with the song. The prayer, you guys go do the morning song, right?
Stick
So-
matches.
Seven 29, first five.
From us further south.
729. 7229.
Are we gonna be up on seats?
Check, check. So, good morning, everybody. We're just gonna start with a prayer this much. So if you can just give us a few minutes for Knowledge Keeper Elder Violet Burling. Violet is from Frog Lake First Nations, and she is one of our Native Arts and Cultural instructors. So you're not videotaping this, right? Not this part.
Yeah, just check over here. Got my laptop, yeah.
Thank you, Elder Violet Burling. We're going to get the guys to come up. They're going to render us the sunrise song. Morning song. Thank you. Wonderful song by Clarence and his group. I'm going to call up Mrs. Nancy Broadbent, President and CEO of Portage College, to bring greetings.
Good morning, everyone. It is my absolute pleasure to participate today, and I'm deeply honored to have been asked to say a few words. Welcome to Wanaska. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the lands of Treaty 6, the traditional lands of First Nations peoples which are also homelands to the Métis, and through this acknowledgement we convey our deep respect for the history, culture, and contributions of the peoples who first gathered on these lands. I should also mention that Lac-La-Biche County is unique as it spans the lands of Treaty 6, 8, and 10 territories. And of course, being integral with the river systems, it was a gathering place for many Indigenous peoples. Today, the college is very honored to continue to receive the generosity and teachings of the Nahawac, Saulteaux, and Métis people of this region. We are grateful that Portage College is always welcomed into ceremony and gatherings such as today's, and that we are continually challenged to learn the truth and practice meaningful reconciliation. I'm especially honored that Portage College is hosting a sunrise ceremony today to commemorate the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. I extend a warm welcome to everyone here with us in person, as well as to those joining us via live streaming or watching this recording later today. I want to give a special thank you to Knowledge Keeper Violet Berlin for the blessing, and to Clarence Ward and his drummers and singers for the morning song. I want to welcome Chief Lehman from Beaver Lake Cree Nation. Thank you for joining us today. I also want to welcome Jason Eckelberg from Métis Nation and Kevin Perry from Lac-La-Biche County, as well as Constable Adrian Preshenik. I think I got that right. Thank you for being here with us today. You have no idea how meaningful it is to have your presence and to have all the singers and the drummers and the dancers that you'll see in a moment. Without your contribution, this ceremony would not have the same spiritual and cultural depth. Thank you for being here. This is our fourth sunrise ceremony, and I find it especially fitting that we do commemorate this day with the dawn. Given the history of Portage College, as you know, many know our name, Pita Pun, which was given to us in 1970, does mean new dawn, and that is the reason that we named the room Wanaska for wake up. So the morning and the sun are very important to us and connected to our history. We remain deeply grateful for the vision of the founders for standing up for what they believed in and recognizing the value of this institution despite the dark history of residential schools and the painful legacy of colonization. A dear friend at Portage College, Dr. Pat McCocus, often reminds us that educational institutions are the belly of the beast, as she puts it. And this resonates very deeply with us on a day like today. Orange Shirt Day arose from an experience of an educational institution and things going terribly wrong, just as residential schools did for so many Indigenous children. Today, on National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, we honor the children who never returned home from residential schools, and for those who did but were forever scarred by their experiences. We reflect on the horrors these children endured and how they were denied love of their families and the joy of their traditions and the celebration of their cultures. Every child does matter, and today we remember Phyllis Webstad's heart-wrenching story where her pride and spirit were diminished by the actions of others. We also think of the missing and murdered Indigenous women, children, and two-spirited people and acknowledge the continued fight against racism and discrimination that Indigenous people face. Let us take this opportunity to educate ourselves and others about the rich cultures and traditions of Indigenous peoples, as well as the painful truths of our shared history. And let us be called into action to make tangible efforts towards healing and creating a brighter future for all. Thank you again to everyone who is participating with us this morning. Hi, merci.
That was very beautiful, President Nancy Brockton. I'd like to introduce myself. I guess I should have. What a morning. We started outside. We decided to come inside. It was cold. We thought about the dancers, the drummers, and we thought, no, they can't dance on the ground. It's too wet. So we moved everything in at about 6 o'clock. We decided to move in. Then we could get into the building. Our fobs did not work. So it was a bit of running around. And we're here now, so we'll make the best of it. And it's always a great day. I'd like to call up Chief Gary Lehman of Beaver Lake Cree Nation. Chief Gary Lehman's father was involved with New Start as well as Pete Bun. And so it's a very big honor that we have him to come up and to say a few words about the day.
Asimanto, yung naskong tanan, miyugik si payawan. Suhing nan kakyaw. Nawiyak out to bit kihil nit sigas. For in English, that means four direction eagle is my name, my Cree name. My English name is Gary Lehman. I think you realize that I speak English a lot better than I speak Cree. And that's one of the effects of residential school. And my grandmother, I don't know if my great grandmother was in the residential school, but I know my grandmother was. She went to Blue Bulls, and so did my father. So both of them spoke very good Cree. I don't know how they maintained it, but they did. My grandmother, she had broken English, and that's all she would speak to me. And she would speak a little bit of Cree to me, but not much. I didn't learn much Cree from her. And she was a strong Catholic. And I don't recall seeing sweetgrass, sage, going to sun dances. I remember going to powwows, rarely. Chicken dances, anything like that, I didn't see. My father he spoke Cree very well, and unfortunately, he as well didn't speak much Cree to me. So that's part of the residential school effects, is that I speak English very well and I don't speak my language very well. I want to share a story with you about some of the things that our grandfathers and our great grandfathers went through in residential school. There was a man that he actually survived the Spanish flu that just wiped out our nation, Beaver Lake, back in around the turn of the century. And he was found laying next to his deceased mother, and he survived that, and he was put into the residential school system later on as he got older. And he of course he didn't like it. He wanted to go home. And he ran away. He kept running away. And one day, or one time when he ran away, he was brought back. And his parents brought him back, and or the people that were keeping him brought him back. And they were in a nursing wagon, of course. And they started back home. They left him there. And apparently he was a good runner. He was a really good runner. And could run long distances. So they left him there. And they got on their wagon, started heading back, St. Paul back to Beaver Lake. Long distance, especially if you're horse and wagon. So they went back, they got home, and he met them at home. He was there waiting for them. So they had to take him back. And when they took him back, he got beaten to within inches of his life. So that's just one story. There's other stories as well of a residential school, what happened to the kids there. Another interesting story is, and this is probably how my grandmother and my dad kept the language going, was because they would have secret little talking circles where they would just kind of, in secret, almost speak the Cree language to each other. And that's how they would keep it alive. And, my dad told me that story. Of course, my mom was in residential school as well. Already when she went to residential school, things had kind of changed for the better, where the kids weren't being beaten and being forced as much. But my dad was he was a founding member of Portage, Baytop, and very proud of that. That he was a member of this, founding member, board member of this wonderful institution. And I just want to say thank you to Portage for inviting myself. I think one of our council members was going to come as well, but couldn't make it. So just keep up the good work. And thank you for acknowledging this wonderful day. Aye.
Thank you, Chief Lehman. Beautiful words, lots of wisdom. Gary has actually supported us a couple times for lots of events when we call upon him to come in, so it's always appreciative. We're going to call upon a young lady, Soul, and she's going to render us a beautiful song. Soul is from Portage, Alberta, and she's a student, second-year student in the Native Arts and Culture program. So let's give her a round of applause.
Hello, everyone. So I wrote this song. It's called Uncovered, around the time the 250 were found. My grandparents were all affected by residential school, two of which passed before they could find healing. Whereas my current grandfather that's currently alive, he is now a respected elder in his community and is helping heal others, working closely with our street people and our affected youth that are encouraged to heal through his actions and the actions he's passed on to my mother. He's breaking a cycle. And so this song, Uncovered, I'll sing here. Roll down the misty path, the one made by hands of death.
we're gonna get the healing dance. One of our dances is called the healing dance, it's the jingle dress dance. So if we can get the guys up the drum. And our dancers, our lady dancers can come over. We'll just get them organized. So the jingle dress, you're gonna get Randy. She's gonna explain the dance a little bit.
I'll just wait till then. Tanse regular execution destiny here Uchinia. Macubishal bird egg me within egg the tennis nipple rose. No, okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm very honored and blessed to be here today to speak on the jingle dress. For those of you who don't know, the jingle dress is also referred to as a noisemaker dress, obviously, and also a healing dress and medicine dress. So the reason why the jingle dress makes noise is we say the sound it produces cleanses the air of negative energy, and when we cleanse the air of negative energy, what's left is for the positive, uplifting, healing energy to flow through. Long story short, the jingle dress came to the people about just over a century ago. It was in the Ojibwe or the Anishinaabe, as they call themselves in their own language, territory out east. Some people say Minnesota, some say Ontario, I say tomato. But both areas are the homelands of the Anishinaabe people. So we have two styles of dances with us today. We have a contemporary and an original style. The original style dancers are taught to keep their feet close to Mother Earth, and they do a 1-2 step, as you may see, okay? And she'll also dance in a zigzag to honor the road we walk. No one walks a straight road, we all fall down, but eventually we learn to pick ourselves up. Boom, life's good, and we fall down again, but the difference now is that we can recall call on the strength and courage that we utilized in the past to help pick us up. Or we say crisis equals opportunity, and it's a moment to learn new coping skills, new ways to uplift ourselves. So that's why they dance in a zigzag formation. Then we have our contemporary. Oh my goodness, okay, it's too early for this. I didn't even know I was going to talk. So yeah, cool. Thanks for that, Robert. I just came to dance, okay? We have our contemporary jingle dress dancers. Are we good dance? Contemporary? Okay. No? I don't know. She'll decide. So we'll be carrying eagle feather fans. The eagle feathers are very sacred in our culture. The eagle's revered in many cultures. One reason is because he flies highest of all the birds. And therefore, our prayers are brought up to be heard on his wings. So we earn our feathers through ceremony, through sacrifice, etc. We won't get too much into that. But what's different about our dancing is we do have the plumes in our hair, like eagle feathers. Is there a dancing? Okay, sorry, can we put you on the spot? Okay, back to what I was saying, healing dance. Okay, contemporary dance, we carry eagle feather fans. During the song, we will lift our fans, and it's just a symbolization of us sharing prayers and positive energy with you guys. And you'll notice our footwork's a bit different. And I really like that because it represents how we as different communities can come together and share and learn from one another. So our footwork originates more from European styles of our brothers and sisters that came from across the ocean and settled here. and they had their jigs and etc. So you'll see some of our footwork's very similar to Irish, Scottish jigs, even the Métis jig. Feel free to take pictures and videos. That's cool, right? Yeah, okay. Just making sure, be in the moment. Take mental pictures if you want. Thank you for your time, and I hope that helps explain the purpose of our dance today.
First up, what's up?
Alright, so ladies.
Thank you, Randy.
Sure. Sure. So we're going to do two songs. So we're going to do the crow hop. No. Glide step. Glide step. Sorry. So we'll do this glide step.
All right. It'll be the sacrificial lamb, so the other ones can go get a drink. Go get a drink. So the next song we're doing is a side step. The first song we did was a straight. The straight goes up and down drum beat. The next song you'll notice the drum beat switches more to a heartbeat sound. That's how us as dancers know how to switch up our dance style. This song is called a side step. Very self-explanatory, step to the side. Thank you. Okay. If you ever been to a round dance, it's like a really fast round dance. This song was given specifically to the jingle dress dancers as part of that healing element of the dress. This song is very special and important to me. So there's many times at a powwow or a community gathering that they'll ask for jingle dress dancers to come out, offer us tobacco, and ask us to dance and pray for something that may be happening in a community, pray for our family that might be going through hardship, etc., etc. The way I look at it, we have no shortage of things to pray for. Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry, I just kind of lost my train of thought. It's part of the healing dance. And to welcome that healing to you guys, if you choose to, by all means, when we raise our hands, you're welcome to, not forced to. You can raise your hand with us. So what I was taught was when a person raises their hand, they're asking to receive healing in their own lives. The most important person in your life. As a parent, it's hard for me to even say is you. You're the most important person in your life. How we raise our children is directly tied to how we feel inside. And my mother was a residential school survivor. It was many, many years she spent angry, but she did take it upon herself eventually to embark on her healing journey, and I'm very grateful for that. My mother has passed on now. She's been gone just over a year. But when I dance, I still feel very connected to her, and especially on days like today. So yeah, you're more than welcome when we raise our hands, to raise up your hands and just say a little prayer for yourself. And just to keep encouraging yourself to keep going, as this walk we're doing is every day, not just September 30th. It's going to take open hearts and open minds. 365, 24/7, right? Okay, everyone's got it. Is that me? Everyone caught their breath? Thank you.
Thank you, young lady. So we're going to call up from Maclebush County to say a few words. Kevin Pryor.
Here I got, thought I got out of it, Robert, that you went on. Welcome, everybody. Obviously, it's a hard day, but it's a happy day as well when we recognize the children and we support them and we recognize the atrocities that happened in the past. But days like this are important, so we ensure that they don't happen again. You know, back in the day, Jason told me, you gotta educate yourself and then do your part. And over the last 3 years since I've been elected, I'm hoping I'm doing my part by, you know, building, first creating relationships and then building on them. And I've been a big part of coming to events like this and events in Beaver Lake, Front Lake, Buffalo Lake. Just trying to initially create relationships. I thought when I first came to Beaver Lake, I'm born and raised in this community, and 3 years ago I stepped on Beaver Lake for the first time, and I was embarrassed that that was my first time in all my years of being on Beaver Lake. And since then, I think I've been on Beaver Lake 30 times. Chief Lehman joked at me when I went and helped break ground for the new school that if I showed up any more times, he was gonna put in my application for housing. So you know you're doing something right when you get jokes like that. So you know, it's been my honor and to initially build, but keep on building relationships with our Indigenous neighbors and just being part of their lives, being part of their children's lives and moving forward in a positive way. And I thank the college for the invite and means a lot to me to see everybody here. I know I've been to some ceremonies where the room is pretty empty and it's always positive to see so many people here today. Okay, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Councilman Del Valle of Portage County. I'd like to call up two gentlemen. Where are they? Jason Eckberg, the citizens rep of the new Métis government, and Lyric Hart. Yeah, Chesso. Sorry.
Good morning, everyone. Before I start, I'd like to just emphasize on some of the things like Gary had brought up on how things changed over the years, how our language was taken away from us. I remember we used to be in town, we used to go to the laundromat. That's a good example we could use. And everybody would be talking Cree. You know, back then I used to understand some of that. And as soon as the door would open and somebody would walk in, conversation was done. There was no more conversations. That's why we lost it because of that. And you know what? I thank you for bringing that up today because you brought back memories that blow my mind to this day. So me and Lyric are gonna just share a little speech here today that our mama hen at the office, we all put together, and we're gonna share this and speak to you guys on behalf of the Otakamsaw Community Government. So, elders, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow members of our community. As the first light of dawn breaks upon us, we gather in a sacred moment to acknowledge and reflect on our past and remember the countless lives affected. The survivors and those who never returned home while attending residential schools. We celebrate the progress we have made and commit ourselves to the ongoing journey of healing and understanding of what truth and reconciliation is. We come together with survivors and families who carry the burden of a shared history of broken and damaged family units. The sunrise symbolizes new beginnings, hope, and the promise of a brighter future. It is fitting that we come together at this time to reflect on our shared history, the truths that must be acknowledged in order for us to move forward. This ceremony serves as a reminder that we must confront the painful aspects of our past while also celebrating the strength of our Indigenous and Métis communities. As we stand here today, let us take a moment to remember those who suffered in silence and those who continue to bear the weight of historical injustices. Acknowledging this truth is the first step toward reconciliation. In the past years, we have seen a growing awareness of these historical injustices. Conversations that once felt taboo are now being embraced with openness and honesty. Visibility of Indigenous voices in media, education, and politics. We are making strides toward a society that values the truth of our shared history.
I'll say good morning, everyone. As an Indigenous and Métis community, we have witnessed some achievements. We have strengthened our cultural identity and are actively revitalizing our language and fostering pride in our culture. Initiatives aimed at reconciliation have opened doors for collaboration and understanding between the Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. We have seen our community come together to celebrate Métis culture, to share stories, and to learn from one another. However, while we acknowledge our progress, we must also confront the challenges that remain. It calls for us to advocate for education, health, and economic opportunities that honor and respect Indigenous rights and governance. Let us remember that true reconciliation requires a collective hope for a future where every voice is heard, every culture is respected, and every individual is treated with dignity and respect. It is about forging relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, and each of us has a role to play, whether through education, community engagement, or simply having difficult conversations with those around us. As we look to the future, let us carry forward the lessons of the past. And let us ensure that the stories of our ancestors guide us in our efforts to create a world where every individual is treated with dignity and respect. Together, we can build bridges that connect our communities and foster a spirit of cooperation that honors both our unique identities and our shared human kindness.
So in closing, I urge each of you to reflect on reconciliation means in your own lives. Let us stand together in our commitment to the truth, healing, and partnership. As we walk this path, may we do so with courage, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to justice for those who never return home to their families. Mercy, thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. So, would like to come up and render your second song. Check.
Okay, so my second song is called Reconcile. And well, reconciliation is a beautiful thing because it's two paths coming together to seek healing and moving on forward to a better future. So I'll sing for you now. Round and round the wheel goes, round and round it repeats itself, but we've got to break that cycle of pain and misery, so we can all be free. Hush, my darling, no fear, my darling, the sun is rising on our lives. Move towards that guiding light. See our healing, our wounds are healing, no longer bleeding. Forgiveness comes when all is said and done. Reconcile, reconcile.
Round and round the wheel goes, round and round it repeats itself, but we've got to break that cycle of pain and misery, so we can all be free. Lay down your weapons, lay down your hate. Feel the forgiveness as the earth shakes. We are children seeking redemption. They wounded us, but we are still moving. No more pain, no more hate. Reconcile, reconcile. Stop the cycle of pain. Round and round the wheel goes. Round and round it repeats itself. But we've got to break that cycle of pain and misery, so we can all be free. Reconcile, 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 reconcile. Stop the cycle of pain. Thank you.
We'll call up our fast dancer, the butterfly dancer, Lyric Lewis. Lyric is going to do the butterfly dance, which is the fancy dance. And these are watch her integral steps as she moves around the floor. We're going to do one more. She's going to get a drink of water. Give her a bit of a break. So Lyric is from Beaver Lake Cree Nation as well. And so we want to thank all our dancers. Just while she catches her breath, and I'll bring her one more song. Grow Up. they grow up. Thank you, Leader. Thank you very much. We're coming to the end. I'd just like to say a few words. About the day, for a lot of Indigenous people, it's a day of mourning. It's a day of reflection. Through policies, laws, legislation, Indigenous children and women have been targeted for hundreds of years. Through laws, they had policy, they took the children away from their homes, and still do. Child welfare is the new residential school system. Indigenous children have been a cash cow for many, many hundreds of years already, when you think about it. And it's a shame. There should never be a department to remove children. As Indigenous people, our residential school survivors are not only survivors, they're warriors when you think about it, because they fought every day of their life through residential schools. They fought to eat, they fought to survive every day while they were there. For many of them, they never did come home. For many of them, they never seen their families again once they were removed and went to school. And so this day for a lot of families is a day of hardship. It's not a day of celebration. It's not a holiday. It's a day of remembering. It's a day of remembering and knowing that we have suffered through much. We have lots of trauma in our lives. And when we think of the people where the homeless and the ones who are lost on their path through addictions, that's because of trauma. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to be an addict or I'm going to be homeless. That's because of trauma. And it's been a history of trauma. It's ingrained into our DNA. And so when we think back, when we think about this day, remember, it's not only about one day. It's about every day of the year. Every day, an Indigenous person still suffers through trauma. Every day, someone still misses their child if they're lost in residential school. Every day, a survivor or a warrior suffers because they remembered something about what happened to them while they were in school. It's not a day where to celebrate. It's a day of remembrance. It's a day for us to think back to everything that's happened. And so we should be proud of our survivors of the warriors, because I call them warriors because of what they went through. because they were able to hold that banner high and say, this is what happened. This is what went on. And this is what happened to us. And that we should be very proud of. My mother was a residential school survivor. My grandmother was a residential school survivor. So we've had many. To this day, my mom will acknowledge it, but she doesn't celebrate it. So with that, I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank Constable Adrian. I'm not going to tell your last name. I'd like you to come up, acknowledge him. He spent his day with us in the morning. I won't try and say his name. I'll let him introduce himself because I'll butcher his name. I am not good at that.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adrian President. Thank you very much for inviting me this morning here. I'm really honored and blessed to be here this morning. Thank you very much, guys, for your hard work and keep going. What can I say? It's a special event for me this morning. It's the first time when I participate in this kind of event in La Portage. I'm in La Portage for 2 years now. I'm from Montreal. So yes, my English is broken too. Thank you again, and just enjoy, stay safe outside, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
So we're going to have a round dance. Thank you, Anthony, and now we are closing. So as soon as they start, get up and join in.
There's still coffee and porridge and other stuff, so still help yourself around. The county has a walk at 10 o'clock from Parkland to the Portage, to the gazebo, so if you want to go and enjoy that, then at 11 o'clock there's a meal there, so, and speeches, so. Stick around, have something to eat, have some coffee, and then go to walk.
Let me use my mom voice really quickly to thank Rick, Matt for doing our pictures, and for Carrie and Andrea for organizing the day, and of course, Robert for doing our leader today. Thank you very much.
Dancers don't go away, drummers don't go away, and speakers don't go away.
Kind of thinking.